it's Iman, and this is Architecture Essentials Video 6, and it's on Pueblo-style architecture. So, Pueblo architecture is incredibly important when both looking at the past and present day. The rich history of the Pueblo structures and their design has had a significant impact on modern-day architectural styles. So, when you look at this building, what do you see? Is there anything in particular that catches your eye, or something unique about its design that you're captivated by? Well, maybe you are first drawn to its sleek exterior or the terracotta color, or perhaps the flat roof and its several small windows. Well, despite what might be noticeable at first glance, this type of home has a lot of deeper roots than almost any other American architecture. The type of building is extremely popular in the Southwest, and was developed in Arizona and Mexico around the 20th century. However, most of the sleek, simple designs of this modern building originates from the Pueblos from as early as 1150 AD. When Spanish explorers first settled in Southwest America in the 1500s, they were intrigued by the large apartment-style buildings built by the Native Americans. These explorers called the dwellings pueblos after the Spanish word for village, and today the term is utilized to refer to both the people and their villages. However, the architectural form dates back to about 1150 AD, where it originated in New Mexico, where the ancestral Pueblo people of the Four Corners area created the first permanent shelters. Before the Spanish arrived, the Pueblos lived in villages located on rocky plateaus or in river valleys. They valued the coexistence of nature with their communities, and often incorporated their homes into the surrounding topography. The ancestral Pueblos began constructing their dwellings around specific land features, such as beneath overhanging cliffs and in the faces of caves and mountains. The multi-storied houses that had amazed the Spanish were inspired by these cliff dwellings of the ancestral Pueblo. Here is an example of an adobe settlement that has housed a Native American community for centuries. The Pueblo Indians have inhabited this captivating complex of multi-storied adobe homes and ceremonial structures since they were built in the late 13th century. It is said that, when the first Spanish explorers set eyes on the settlement in 1540, it looked much as it does now, and the descendants of the original inhabitants remain here to carry on ancient traditions. And this is just one of many impressive buildings and structures. So, how is Pueblo architecture different from everyday buildings and their designs? And what are the key markers or important characteristics of Puebloan architecture? Well, the buildings that impressed the Spanish had several specific characteristics associated with the Pueblo tribe. Traditional construction of these dwellings involved materials such as large limestone or adobe bricks. Adobe bricks were created from earth mixed with water and straw, and formed walls that were several feet thick. The Pueblo homes were actually many individual homes built side by side and in layers, with common walls but no connecting doorways. Roofs of the 5 stories were made from vigas, or large timbers from the nearby mountain forests. So the typical Pueblo building has several characteristics unique to it, so let's go through a few. Like I mentioned before, adobe blocks were utilized, and this was mostly to construct walls and create a central courtyard. These blocks, along with small doors and windows, made the Pueblos feel like caves, keeping them cool during the day and warm at night. Another defining characteristic is the pyramid-like shape of the homes. Buildings were often 5 stories tall, each one progressively getting smaller. While this had aesthetic value, it also had a functional purpose, as the roof of each level served as a terrace for the next. And with 5 stories, you might be thinking that they used stairs to move between levels. However, movement between levels was by ladders made of wood or animal bones. This made it difficult to get inside, protecting the Pueblo people from their enemies and wild animals. So, as you can see, the Pueblo style of architecture is very closely associated with its tribe. But in what ways has this approach influenced modern architectural styles? Well, the modern-day style known as Pueblo Revival architecture draws inspiration from the Pueblo homes, while adding a new spin. It imitates the appearance of traditional Pueblo adobe construction, with adobe in addition to more modern materials such as concrete and bricks, to create stronger structures. The Pueblo Revival homes developed at the turn of the 20th century, and retained many qualities of their predecessors. The style is still commonly seen in buildings, but it is most prevalent in the state of New Mexico, taking the appearance of traditional Pueblo adobe construction. Some key aspects of the revival architecture include rounded corners, irregular parapets, thick-beaded walls, clay, tile, shingles, and so on, which are used to simulate the original buildings. The traditional styles that are echoed in the more modern multi-story homes still complement their environment. Furthermore, the new homes still maintain certain aspects, such as no running water and electricity. These homes are most abundant in Arizona and New Mexico, and have remained a style unique to the southwestern United States. Besides the revival architecture style, there are also many Pueblo-inspired homes. Newer construction homes tend to stray away from the traditional adobe style. However, a historical connection can easily be seen. For instance, new construction homes in Southern California and Las Vegas are not technically Pueblo style, but include many of the same elements. This house in particular pulls in specific features such as minimal decor, earth tones, and simple windows with a flat roof. Even though they are not classified as Pueblo style, these homes still have similar characteristics to those of the Pueblo people. And so, did you learn all of this about Pueblo architecture? Could you pause the video at this point and fill in all the blanks? Well, let me do it for you. Pueblo-style architecture was built by the Native Americans and impressed Spanish explorers in the 1500s. This is where the people and their dwellings got their names after the Spanish word for village, or pueblo. The Pueblo people valued nature and often built their homes as part of the landscape, in overhanging cliffs, mountains, and in the faces of caves. Many aspects of the style are closely associated with the tribe, and homes could hold hundreds of people and were made of multiple individual homes, with thick side-by-side walls. There are several key characteristics of this style, but a few are their construction with adobe bricks, flat roofs, and small windows and doors. And the ancient Pueblo style led to more modern takes on the architecture through approaches such as the Pueblo revival architecture and Pueblo-inspired homes. Overall, the Pueblo people and their style of architecture represents an important stage in the history of cultural, urban, and community life that has not only played an important role for the Native American tribes, but has influenced modern-day architecture. And I hope that was helpful.